2000D Sacagawea dollar begins with a flash of golden color that immediately separates it from ordinary coins. Yet what truly fuels fascination is the mystery surrounding a handful of extraordinary pieces that collectors believe carry hidden rarity. The 2000D mint mark, struck in Denver, introduced millions of coins into circulation, but within that ocean of metal, a few examples emerged with unusual surfaces, sharp details, and striking brilliance that turned them into objects of intense desire. For collectors, the idea that a simple dollar could hold extraordinary value creates a thrilling sense of possibility, transforming everyday pocket change into a treasure hunt. The coin itself features the dignified portrait of Sacagawea carrying her child, a design meant to symbolize guidance, courage, and the opening of new frontiers. On the reverse, a soaring eagle represents ambition and national spirit, giving the coin a bold visual presence. When struck perfectly, the fine details of the hair strands, the infant's features, and the eagle's feathers appear crisp and luminous, and it is these flawless examples that collectors chase with intensity. Coins from the Denver facility, marked with a small D, were produced in massive numbers, yet rarity in coin collecting is not always about quantity. It often comes from condition, unusual finishes, or unexpected striking characteristics. Some 2000D coins exhibit exceptionally sharp strikes, satin-like surfaces, or reflective qualities that set them apart. These differences may appear subtle to the casual observer, but to a trained eye, they signal a coin that might command a dramatic premium. Another reason excitement surrounds the 2000D Sacagawea dollar is the possibility of unusual mint anomalies. Minor misalignments, die polishing lines, or distinctive surface textures can turn a standard coin into a collectible conversation piece. When such features combine with pristine condition, the value can climb rapidly, because collectors are always searching for coins that look different from the norm. Condition plays the most decisive role in determining value. A coin that has never circulated, with untouched surfaces and blazing luster, can command far more than one that shows wear. In the highest graded states, the coin appears almost mirror-like, with golden brilliance flowing across the surface as light moves. These top-tier specimens are often sealed in protective holders and traded among collectors who compete for perfection. The 2000D Sacagawea dollar is sometimes described as having hidden potential because many examples were stored away shortly after release. Some were saved in rolls, others in collector sets, and a few remained untouched for years. When these coins resurface in pristine condition, they reignite interest and drive the perception that valuable treasures might still be waiting to be discovered. Collectors are particularly fascinated by coins that appear flawless under magnification. When examined closely, the best pieces show no scratches, no dullness, and no contact marks. The portrait looks sculpted rather than struck, and the eagle seems to rise from the surface. These qualities transform an ordinary coin into something that feels rare and special. The golden alloy used for the Sacagawea dollar also contributes to its appeal. Unlike traditional silver-colored coins, its warm tone creates instant visual impact. When preserved perfectly, the color remains vibrant, almost glowing, and this aesthetic quality alone can attract collectors who value beauty as much as rarity. Over time, stories circulate about collectors discovering remarkable 2000D coins in bankrolls or forgotten collections. These tales add to the excitement and create the impression that fortune might be hiding in plain sight. Whether the value is modest or significant, the thrill of discovery keeps interest alive. Another factor that fuels demand is the historical significance of the first year of issue. The year 2000 marked the debut of the Sacagawea dollar series, making early coins especially appealing. First-year coins often hold sentimental and collectible importance, and pristine examples from that year tend to receive extra attention. The small D mint mark itself becomes a focal point. On high-quality coins, the mint mark appears sharp and clean, without distortion. Collectors inspect this tiny detail carefully, because clarity here often indicates a strong strike and better overall quality. Luster is another defining trait. When a coin displays full, unbroken luster, light glides across its surface like a wave. This shimmering effect is highly prized and often separates premium coins from average ones. The more vibrant the luster, the more dramatic the coin appears. Storage also influences value. Coins kept in protective holders retain their brilliance, while those exposed to air or handling may lose their shine. A well-preserved 2000D coin can look almost newly minted even decades later, enhancing its desirability. Collectors often compare multiple examples side by side, searching for the finest. Even small differences in sharpness or color can elevate one coin above another. This competitive grading process drives interest and encourages collectors to seek the very best. The emotional aspect of coin collecting cannot be ignored. Holding a coin believed to be rare creates excitement and anticipation. The idea that a small piece of metal might carry significant value adds to its mystique. The 2000D Sacagawea dollar also appeals to new collectors because it is relatively modern and easy to recognize. This accessibility draws more people into the hobby, increasing demand for the finest examples. Over the years, interest in unique Sacagawea dollars has grown steadily. Each time a particularly attractive coin appears, it renews attention and encourages others to re-examine their own collections. Ultimately, the fascination with the 2000D Sacagawea dollar lies in possibility. Most examples remain ordinary, yet a select few stand out with exceptional quality, unusual characteristics, or perfect preservation. These coins capture the imagination and remind collectors that even modern currency can hold surprising value. For anyone who finds a bright, sharply struck 2000D Sacagawea dollar, the best approach is patience and careful evaluation. Whether modestly valuable or highly collectible, such coins carry both historical charm and the excitement of discovery, making them far more than just another dollar. The story of the 2000p Liberty Sacagawea $1 coin begins with a quiet release that few people noticed at the time, yet years later it has become one of the most talked about modern coins among collectors who believe hidden treasure can still exist in everyday pocket change. When the Philadelphia Mint struck these golden-toned dollars, they were meant to circulate widely, but a handful of pieces left the mint with unusual characteristics that transformed an ordinary coin into something that feels almost mythical. These rare examples now spark excitement because they represent the idea that a single overlooked dollar could carry astonishing value. What makes the 2000p version especially fascinating is the possibility of subtle variations that are difficult to spot at first glance. Some coins show sharper details in Sacagawea's portrait, unusually reflective surfaces, or striking anomalies that separate them from the millions of standard pieces. Collectors often search for coins with exceptional luster, near-perfect preservation, or strange minting quirks, because these small differences can elevate a coin from face value to something far more desirable. The mystery surrounding these variations fuels the belief that extraordinary worth may still be hiding in plain sight. The allure deepens when you consider how condition changes everything. A circulated 2000p Sacagawea dollar may only be worth a small premium, but an untouched coin with blazing shine, crisp edges, and flawless surfaces can suddenly leap into a completely different category. Coins graded at the highest levels become rare simply because so few survive in pristine form. This scarcity creates a powerful demand, and when demand meets rarity, collectors begin competing intensely for the finest examples. There is also the excitement surrounding minting anomalies. Slight misalignments, double details, or unusual finishes can transform a common coin into a sought-after prize. The 2000p Sacagawea dollars occasionally display these quirks, and when they do, collectors pay close attention. Even minor irregularities can ignite bidding wars, because every collector dreams of discovering something that no one else noticed. This possibility gives the coin a sense of hidden potential. Another layer of fascination comes from the coin's golden appearance, which often leads people to believe it contains precious metal. While the coin is not made of solid gold, its unique alloy gives it a distinctive glow that stands out from other circulating coins. That visual appeal contributes to its popularity, especially when the surface remains bright and untouched. A perfectly preserved golden tone can dramatically increase collector interest. Stories about high-value examples often circulate within collecting communities, adding to the legend. When a particularly exceptional 2000p coin appears with remarkable detail and almost mirror-like surfaces, it can command astonishing attention. These standout coins are sometimes described as once-in-a-lifetime finds, and they reinforce the idea that not all coins are created equal. Each discovery adds another chapter to the coin's reputation. The Philadelphia Mint mark, P, itself holds significance. It confirms the coin's origin and connects it to a specific production run. Some collectors prefer Philadelphia issues because they believe certain die pairs produced sharper strikes. When these coins also show exceptional preservation, they become highly desirable, especially among those seeking top-tier modern dollars. Over time, the perception of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar has evolved. Initially treated as a circulating coin, It gradually gained attention as collectors realized that premium examples were surprisingly scarce. This shift in perception is what often drives value. Once collectors begin searching aggressively, the supply of top examples seems to shrink, and the few available pieces become more coveted. The idea that a single coin could dramatically change someone's fortune adds emotional power to the search. People check jars, drawers, and old collections hoping to uncover one of these standout coins. The thrill of discovery is part of the appeal. Even the possibility that such value might exist keeps collectors engaged and constantly searching. Another factor influencing desirability is eye appeal. Coins with smooth surfaces, even color, and sharp design details naturally draw attention. When a 2000p Sacagawea dollar combines all of these traits, it becomes far more attractive than average pieces. Visual perfection often translates directly into collector demand. The historical symbolism of Sacagawea herself also enhances the coin's charm. Her portrait represents exploration, courage, and guidance, and collectors often connect emotionally with that imagery. When a coin carries both historical meaning and potential rarity, it becomes more than just currency. It becomes a collectible story in metal. Professional grading further amplifies value. Once a coin is authenticated and assigned a high grade, collectors gain confidence in its quality. The highest graded 2000p examples are extremely limited, and this limitation can push prices upward. A certified top-grade coin instantly becomes part of a small elite group. Market excitement can also influence perceived worth. When collectors start discussing rare examples, interest grows quickly. This increased attention often leads to competitive buying, and competitive buying can produce surprisingly strong prices. Even rumors of exceptional coins can spark widespread curiosity. Another intriguing aspect is how modern coins can still hold surprises. Many assume only ancient or silver coins can be valuable, yet the 2000p Sacagawea dollar proves that modern issues can also capture attention. Its relatively recent origin makes it even more exciting, because it suggests treasures may still be circulating today. Collectors often emphasize patience. A coin that seems ordinary today might reveal its importance years later. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar fits this narrative perfectly. As more people examine them closely, new standout examples occasionally appear, renewing enthusiasm each time. The coin's durability also plays a role. Because many circulated heavily, pristine survivors are naturally rare. Finding one untouched by where feels like discovering a preserved moment in time. That rarity adds to the sense of value and importance. As interest continues to grow, the legend surrounding this coin becomes stronger. Each exceptional example reinforces the belief that hidden value exists. Collectors remain motivated, searching through rolls, collections, and loose change, hoping to encounter that one extraordinary piece. Ultimately, the 2000p Liberty Sacagawea dollar represents possibility. It embodies the idea that even a small coin can carry surprising significance. Whether valued for rarity, condition, or unusual features, it continues to fascinate collectors who believe that remarkable discoveries are still waiting. The story of the Liberty-style $1 coin connected to James Buchanan begins with an era wrapped in political tension, economic uncertainty, and a nation standing at the edge of transformation. Coins from this period carry a strange magnetism, because they were struck when America was balancing between expansion and division. When collectors encounter a dollar tied to this time frame, the imagination immediately races toward rarity, forgotten vaults, and the possibility that a small metallic disc could hold staggering value. What makes these coins especially captivating is the belief that a surviving example from that turbulent period might have escaped circulation almost untouched. A liberty-inspired dollar associated with Buchanan's presidency becomes more than money. It becomes a silent witness to history. The worn edges, the fading details, and the aged luster all whisper about hands that may have carried it through markets, railroads, and early banking houses. The excitement surrounding these coins grows when people imagine a rare mint mark variation. During the mid-19th century, mint facilities were fewer, production was inconsistent, and dies were often replaced. That means subtle differences in lettering, placement, or strike depth can transform an ordinary coin into something collectors chase for decades. When such a variation surfaces, the market reacts with astonishing enthusiasm. Collectors often dream of a specimen that looks almost unreal, sharp Liberty features, deep reflective fields, and minimal wear. A coin like that feels as if it was hidden away in a wooden chest for generations. When a discovery like this happens, whispers begin circulating among collectors that a historic treasure has appeared, and the perceived value starts climbing dramatically. Another factor that fuels the mythic value is scarcity combined with historical curiosity. Coins linked to Buchanan's presidency represent a short and dramatic window in time. When supply is tiny and demand is fueled by storytelling, the price ceiling becomes unpredictable. Some collectors are willing to pay enormous sums simply to own a piece that feels unique. The visual design also adds to the fascination. Liberty imagery carries symbolism of freedom, optimism, and national identity. When that design appears on a dollar connected to the late 1850s, the coin feels heavier with meaning. Collectors often describe holding such a piece as holding a fragment of America's emotional history. Stories of hidden collections further intensify the excitement. Occasionally, families discover old envelopes, jars, or inherited boxes containing coins untouched for decades. When a Liberty-style Buchanan-era dollar emerges from such a setting, it instantly gains an aura of mystery. The idea that something overlooked for generations might suddenly command enormous value captures the imagination. Condition plays a powerful role in shaping value. Even a tiny difference in surface quality can dramatically shift collector interest. A coin with original shine, minimal scratches, and bold strike appears almost miraculous for its age. That perceived miracle can push collectors into bidding wars, where the price climbs far beyond expectations. There is also the fascination of mint mark placement. A small letter beneath the design can change everything. Some mint marks were produced in far smaller numbers, and those examples become the legends of the collecting world. When such a coin appears, people begin to talk about life-changing value and rare opportunities. The emotional pull is just as important as the historical one. People are drawn to the idea that something small and overlooked could hold extraordinary worth. A Liberty-inspired Buchanan dollar embodies that dream. It transforms an ordinary moment into the possibility of sudden fortune. The aged silver tone of these coins adds to the mystique. Over time, metal develops soft hues and subtle textures that collectors admire deeply. When a coin retains that natural aging without damage, it looks both ancient and elegant. That visual charm can drive collectors to pursue it intensely. Another element is the narrative surrounding survival. Coins from the 1857 to 1861 period faced economic fluctuations, melting, and heavy circulation. Many were lost forever. The fewer that remain, the stronger the perception that each surviving piece is rare. This scarcity fuels dramatic valuations. Some collectors focus on strike quality. A sharply struck Liberty portrait with crisp lines appears almost sculptural. When the coin looks this refined despite its age, it feels extraordinary. That sense of perfection encourages collectors to place immense value on it. The historical drama of Buchanan's presidency adds emotional weight. It was a period filled with tension before major national change. A coin from that time feels like a quiet observer of history. Collectors often pay more for pieces that evoke such strong narrative connections. The legend grows when people imagine that one overlooked coin could transform a life. Stories circulate about unexpected discoveries, sudden auctions, and surprising prices. Whether exaggerated or not, these stories keep interest alive and push collectors to keep searching. Another captivating aspect is originality. Coins that appear untouched, with no cleaning or alteration, are highly desirable. Natural surfaces signal authenticity and age. When a coin preserves that untouched appearance, collectors often view it as a true survivor. The size and weight of a silver dollar also contribute to its appeal. It feels substantial in the hand, unlike smaller coins. That physical presence enhances the perception that it holds significant value. People instinctively associate larger coins with greater importance. Over time, the mythology surrounding rare Buchanan-era Liberty dollars has grown. The idea that one might be hiding in a drawer or inherited collection continues to inspire searches. Each discovery renews excitement and keeps the legend alive. In the end, the fascination lies in possibility. A Liberty-style James Buchanan $1 coin from the late 1850s represents history, rarity, and the dream of unexpected fortune. Whether modestly priced or dramatically valued, it captures imagination like few other coins, and that alone keeps collectors watching closely, hoping that the next remarkable example could emerge from obscurity and astonish everyone.
The story of the 1908 Liberty Indian Head $10 coin begins with a bold transformation in American coinage, when artistry and symbolism were brought together to create something far more than just money. Known officially as the Indian Head Eagle coin, this coin carries a presence that instantly captures attention, blending strength, heritage, and mystery into a single piece of gold. In 1908, this coin was already turning heads, not because of its value alone, but because of its unusual design. Unlike earlier coins that simply displayed liberty in classical European style, this one showed liberty wearing a Native American headdress. That bold choice gave the coin its identity, and today, it remains one of the most recognizable designs ever struck in American history. The coin was minted in different locations, most notably Philadelphia, no mint marked, and San Francisco, marked S. Each mint produced coins with slight variations in strike quality and survival rate. These small differences are exactly what make collectors obsess over specific versions, because rarity is often hidden in the tiniest details. At first glance, it may look like just another old coin, but for collectors, the 1908 Indian Head Eagle is a gateway into a world where condition, luster, and historical context can transform a simple object into something extraordinarily valuable. The difference between an average coin and a rare one can be the difference between a modest sum and a life-changing amount. One of the most fascinating aspects of this coin is that it was made of gold, not silver as many people assume. This alone places it in a different category. Gold coins carry intrinsic value due to their metal content, but with the Indian Head Eagle, the collectible value often far exceeds the gold itself. Now here's where things become truly exciting. Some versions of the 1908 coin, especially those with unique minting characteristics or preserved in near-perfect condition, have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. In extremely rare cases, exceptional specimens can push into six-figure territory, especially when demand surges among elite collectors. However, the idea that every such coin can instantly make someone a billionaire is more myth than reality. The real truth is more nuanced, and in some ways, even more interesting. The coin's value depends heavily on grading, authenticity, and rarity within its specific category. Collectors use a grading system to evaluate coins, ranging from heavily worn to mint condition. A 1908 Indian Head Eagle that has been carefully preserved, with sharp details and minimal wear, can command dramatically higher prices than one that has circulated for years. The San Francisco version, marked with an S, often attracts special attention. Coins from this mint sometimes had lower production numbers, and when fewer survive in high grades, their value naturally climbs. It's this combination of scarcity and condition that creates real treasure. Another layer of intrigue comes from the historical era in which the coin was produced. The early 20th century was a time of economic growth, artistic experimentation, and national identity building in the United States. This coin reflects all of that, making it not just currency, but a piece of history you can hold in your hand. What makes collectors truly passionate is the hunt. Finding a 1908 Indian Head Eagle in an old collection, inherited box, or forgotten drawer can feel like uncovering buried treasure. But the key is knowledge, understanding what to look for before assuming its worth. There are also subtle variations within the 1908 series itself. For example, some coins have differences in design details that were adjusted during production. These small variations can make certain coins far more desirable to specialists who study these nuances closely. Over the years, auction houses have showcased stunning examples of this coin, drawing global attention. When a high-grade piece appears on the market, it can ignite bidding wars among collectors who understand its true rarity. Still, not every coin reaches extraordinary prices. Many 1908 Indian Head Eagles exist in circulated condition, and while they are still valuable due to their gold content, they may not reach the dramatic figures often talked about in viral stories. That said, the emotional value of such a coin can be just as powerful. Owning a piece that has survived over a century, passed through countless hands, and witnessed history unfold gives it a significance beyond money. For those dreaming of discovering one, the best approach is careful verification. Authenticity matters. There are replicas and altered coins in the market, and distinguishing the real from the fake requires expertise or professional evaluation. Another important factor is preservation. Coins that have been cleaned improperly or damaged lose a significant portion of their collectible value. Sometimes, leaving a coin exactly as it is can be the smartest choice. The idea of overnight fortune is tempting, but the real magic of the 1908 Indian head eagle lies in its story, its craftsmanship, and the journey it has taken through time. Wealth, in this case, is not just measured in dollars, but in history and rarity. If you ever come across one, treat it with curiosity and respect. Get it evaluated, learn about its origin, and understand its condition. You may not become a billionaire overnight, but you could still be holding something remarkably valuable. In the end, the 1908 Indian head $10 coin stands as a symbol of artistry, heritage, and the enduring allure of rare collectibles. It reminds us that sometimes the most ordinary-looking objects can carry extraordinary stories, and occasionally extraordinary value. The story of the 1907 Liberty Indian head $10 coin begins like a whisper that turned into a roar, a coin born in a moment of artistic revolution in the United States. This is not just money. It is a masterpiece shaped by ambition, power, and a desire to redefine beauty and currency. When you hold or even imagine this coin, you are stepping into a time when design met destiny, and ordinary metal became extraordinary treasure. At the heart of this creation stands Augustus St. Gaudens, a visionary artist whose touch transformed American coinage forever. His dream was not to create simple currency, but to craft something timeless, something that would echo through generations as a symbol of artistic excellence and national pride. The 1907 $10 coin became one of his most iconic legacies. Commissioned during the presidency of Theodore Roosevelt, this coin was part of a bold mission to beautify American money. Roosevelt believed that U.S. coins lacked artistic depth, and he wanted them to rival the elegance of ancient Greek and Roman designs. What followed was not just a redesign, but a complete transformation of identity. The 1907 Indian head eagle coin features a striking portrait of Liberty wearing a feathered headdress, a design that was both controversial and captivating. It blended classical ideals with uniquely American symbolism, creating a coin that felt both ancient and modern at the same time. This daring design is what makes it so unforgettable and so desirable. Now here's where the mystery deepens. The 1907 issue is not just one coin. It exists in multiple variations, each with its own rarity and story. Among them, the wire rim and rolled edge varieties are considered some of the rarest and most valuable. These early experimental strikes were produced in very limited numbers, making them treasures that collectors dream about. Despite what many people believe, this coin is not silver. It is made of gold. That single detail changes everything. Gold has always carried intrinsic value, but when combined with rarity, history, and artistic brilliance, its worth can skyrocket into astonishing territory. The 1907 Indian head eagle is a perfect example of that phenomenon. In today's market, a common 1907 Indian head $10 coin might be worth hundreds or a few $1,000s, depending on condition. But the rare variants? They can reach tens of thousands, and in exceptional cases, even more. High-grade specimens with sharp details and original luster can command prices that feel almost unreal. However, the idea that this coin will instantly make you a billionaire overnight is more fantasy than fact. Even the rarest examples, while extremely valuable, do not typically into the millions individually. That said, owning one is still like holding a piece of golden history, something that few people in the world can claim. Condition plays a powerful role in value. Coins are graded on a scale that measures wear, detail, and overall preservation. A heavily worn coin may tell a story, but a perfectly preserved one tells it louder and sells for far more. Collectors chase perfection, and perfection comes at a premium. Mint marks also matter. Coins from different mints, like Philadelphia, no mark in San Francisco, S, can vary in rarity. Certain combinations of mint and condition create coins that are far harder to find, and therefore far more valuable. This is where knowledge becomes power in the world of coin collecting. There's also the emotional factor. For collectors, this coin is not just an asset, it's a passion. The thrill of finding a rare variation, the excitement of owning a piece of history, and the pride of displaying such a coin all contribute to its perceived value. Sometimes, what a collector is willing to pay goes beyond logic. Over the years, auction houses have seen fierce bidding wars over high-grade 1907 Indian head eagles. When two determined collectors set their sights on the same rare piece, the price can climb rapidly. These moments are where legends are made in the coin world. Another fascinating detail is how short-lived some design elements were. The early 1907 variations were quickly modified because they were difficult to produce in large quantities. This means that the earliest versions are not just rare. They are snapshots of a brief experimental phase in American coinage. If you ever come across one of these coins, the first step is not to sell it, but to understand it. Authentication and professional grading can reveal its true identity and value. What looks like an ordinary coin could turn out to be a rare variety, worth far more than expected. It's also important to protect such a coin properly. Gold coins can be damaged by improper handling, and even small scratches can reduce value significantly. Collectors often store them in protective cases to preserve their condition for years, or even generations. The market for rare coins is always evolving. Demand can rise as new collectors enter the field, and prices can shift based on trends, economic conditions, and the availability of high-quality examples. This dynamic nature adds another layer of intrigue to owning such a coin. Stories of unexpected discoveries continue to fuel the imagination. People finding rare coins in old collections, inherited boxes, or forgotten safes. It all adds to the mystique. While rare, these moments remind us that treasures can still be hidden in plain sight. The 1907 Indian head eagle is more than metal. It is a bridge between art and economics, history and modern fascination. It represents a time when even everyday objects were infused with meaning and beauty. If you own one, you hold more than value. You hold a story crafted by genius, driven by vision and preserved through time. It may not make you a billionaire overnight, but it can certainly make you richer in ways that go beyond money. In the end, the true power of this coin lies not just in its price, but in its presence. It captures attention, sparks curiosity, and reminds us that sometimes the smallest objects carry the greatest stories, and occasionally incredible worth. The story of an 1851 Liberty Indian head $1 coin begins with a powerful truth and a surprising twist. While many collectors dream of such a coin existing, the reality is that no official United States $1 coin in 1851 carried the Indian head Liberty design. Yet this very confusion has fueled myths, rumors, and intense fascination in the world of coin collecting, where imagination and history often collide in the most dramatic ways. In 1851, the United States Mint was actively producing gold dollars, but the design at that time was known as the Liberty head, not the Indian head. The famous Indian head design for gold coins did not appear until decades later in 1908. This means that if someone claims to have an 1851 Indian head dollar, it instantly becomes a mystery piece. Either a misidentified coin, a fantasy creation, or something far rarer in a different sense. That's where the excitement begins. In the coin world, errors, patterns, and unofficial mint creations can sometimes command staggering prices. Even though a true 1851 Indian head dollar doesn't exist in official records, coins with unusual features, engravings, or historical anomalies from that era can still be worth fortunes, sometimes reaching into hundreds of thousands or even millions depending on their uniqueness. The 1851 gold dollar itself, however, is a real and historic coin. It belongs to the Type 1 gold dollar series, featuring Lady Liberty wearing a coronet. These coins were struck in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and their small size and delicate design make them both beautiful and challenging to preserve in high grades. Condition is everything. A worn 1851 gold dollar might sell for a modest amount, but a pristine uncirculated example, especially one with sharp details and original luster, can command a dramatically higher price. Collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for coins that look as if they just left the mint untouched by time. Now imagine a coin from 1851 that somehow features a design anomaly, perhaps Liberty's portrait altered, or a striking error that resembles the later Indian head style. Such a piece would ignite the collecting world. Experts would examine it intensely, and if authenticated as a genuine mint error or pattern, its value could skyrocket beyond imagination. Stories of million-dollar coins often come from these rare anomalies. Coins that break the rules, wrong designs, double strikes, off-center images, or experimental patterns are the true treasures. They are not just currency. They are historical accidents frozen in metal, each one telling a story no other coin can replicate. The phrase mint mark P and S also add intrigue. In 1851, only Philadelphia officially produced gold dollars, meaning no S mint mark existed for that denomination that year. But if a coin appeared with such a mark, it would either be a later alteration or an astonishing discovery. Either way, it would draw global attention. Collectors dream of finding such a coin in an old box, a forgotten drawer, or a family inheritance. The idea that a small piece of metal could transform someone's life overnight is what keeps the passion alive. It's not just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery. However, it's important to stay grounded. Not every old coin is worth millions. Many are valuable, yes, but only a tiny fraction reach those legendary price levels. The key factors are authenticity, rarity, demand, and condition, all working together to determine a coin's true market value. Still, the dream is powerful. Imagine holding a coin that others have never seen, one that challenges history itself. Experts gathering, collectors bidding fiercely, headlines spreading. The journey from unknown object to world-famous treasure is what every collector secretly hopes for. The allure of the Indian head design adds even more magic to this story. When it finally appeared in 1908, it revolutionized American coinage with its bold, incuse design. That legacy makes people wish it existed earlier, even in 1851, blending two eras into one imagined masterpiece. This blending of fact and fantasy is where many viral coin stories are born. They capture attention, spark curiosity, and encourage people to look closely at the coins they already own. Because sometimes the smallest detail can make the biggest difference. If you ever come across an 1851 coin that looks unusual, don't rush to sell it. Have it examined by a professional coin grading service. Authentication is the gateway to understanding its true worth. Without it, even the rarest coin cannot reach its full value. The coin market is full of surprises. Coins once ignored have later sold for massive amounts after new discoveries were made. Hidden varieties die errors, and previously unknown patterns continue to emerge, rewriting what we thought we knew. That's why patience is crucial. A coin that seems ordinary today could be extraordinary tomorrow. Knowledge, research, and expert evaluation are your best tools in this journey. The idea of becoming a billionaire overnight from a single coin may sound like a dream, but in rare cases, life-changing discoveries have happened. While billion-dollar coins are unrealistic, multi-million-dollar coins are very real, and they often start as overlooked pieces. So if you hold an old coin from 1851, treat it with care. Store it properly, avoid cleaning it, and seek expert advice. The difference between a damaged coin and a preserved one can mean thousands, or even millions, of dollars. In the end, the legend of the 1851 Liberty Indian head dollar is less about a specific coin and more about the power of curiosity and possibility. It reminds us that history still has secrets, and sometimes those secrets are hiding in plain sight. Your fortune may not come overnight, but the thrill of the hunt, the beauty of the coin, and the possibility of discovery make the journey just as valuable as the destination.